recorded job, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always bored.
So, what do you think about Trump had a rally the other day in Oklahoma, and the audience was kind of light. So, what do you think? Were people afraid of the coronavirus? Were they afraid of the protesters? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, all of the above. Absolutely. I was even thinking about it because I was talking to him about going down to Jacksonville for the convention. And then we kind of both looked at each other and were like, we're not ready for that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ready for that. One, but for both of those exact reasons. One, you're going to be around a ton of people who may or may not be sick. You're interacting. People are shaking hands. Stop with the nonsense. People are shaking hands. When you see somebody, you're not going to be with a mask on. You're going to take it off because it's uncomfortable to have a full-fledged conversation. And if it's somebody you haven't seen for a long time,
Yeah.
you're interacting with people and it's exciting and you want to be like human. You want to be freaking normal. And then the other part of that is you do have these groups, these sleeper cells all over the place, just waiting to get activated. And I think that's what AOC was successful in doing, using the online social media, using all of the tactics that they have to get people to sabotage a situation. Now, in this case, did they sabotage Trump's rally? Maybe in part, with ordering tickets and like, what is that doing for you though, really? Do
Hmm.
you think that's dissuading us? That's dissuading the base in by any, or that's just showing us like this is the extent that these people will go to. So you
Yeah.
can fight about colluding with this person, colluding, trying to, sway elections and stuff. AOC openly admitted to trying to stop the re-election of Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that
She
interfering with the
has,
election?
this is what I'm saying. She has used social media and her gang of, what do they call it? Justice Independence or whatever that group is.
They're the Justice Democrats.
Justice Democrats and the rest of her castmates who were all, auditioned for their roles. And they are going to try and do whatever they can do to create havoc and whatever. And it's not going to work. It's going to backfire. So I don't
Mm.
need to be present at a rally. I think it's unfortunate that we had to witness it, but it's annoying. It's like young juvenile tactics that are annoying at best by a group of people who never lived through anything, have no life experience, have no skill sets, and the country is really being built and trying to be fixed and saved for their dumbasses. Like that,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's the most insulting thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
setting up your kid and the kid is trying to sabotage you the entire way along. It's
Yeah.
like, listen, sit down and shut up and let me just fix this.
Hmm. Hmm. That's why I don't get the thing about the statues. I mean, I'm like, it's these Zers and these millennials out here destroying freaking statues.
It's a
And
waste of time and money. It's a
hmm
waste of time and money. We ain't got time for any of this stuff.
yeah,
We're trying to figure out why the economy was closed for a supposed pandemic that only affects 2%. And while we closed the economy, the most densely populated city allowed for a whole bunch of regular hospital protocol and regular home nursing care protocol to be done away with by executive order and causing the death of thousands and thousands and thousands of people that didn't have to happen. Like we
and
should be
now
thinking about that.
you see now Cuomo is trying to blame that on the federal government.
I please, he's an ass, and so
I
is his
don't
brother.
I don't think it's gonna fly. I
No
really don't
way.
think it's gonna fly. Trump bent over backwards to send this dude resources.
And they won't give him credit for that either.
Not at all. And this guy has mismanaged resources, him and de Blasio, along the way. And now you have all of these people in the nursing home that have passed away because they've mismanaged these resources. and now he's going to shift blame. It's not going to fly. I don't.
Look at the effects of look at the effects that they've had, right? You have communist de Blasio, who has not had not been an effective leader of any sort. He started out going against the police when he first took mayor, became mayor. And this is what happens when you elect a public advocate who has zero competencies in running anything, a business, anything, a lemonade stand, anything, like doing nothing with himself. And then you
Hmm.
have Cuomo, who's like establishment elitist, right? He thinks he
Hmm.
knows everything, but clearly doesn't know how to manage anything, had zero preparation for the largest city, the impact that a virus and outbreak would have. After
Yeah.
having been warned about it, he
Yep.
cared more about, green gases and all this other crap than actual safety and security of people's lives. But okay. And then you have the next generation of stupidity with AOC, who supports Bernie Sanders. And I don't know how you could wrap your head around a young millennial, know nothing, who is supporting the old white man that she's railing against all the time, except that he's a socialist. So I guess they aligned in values there. Like, these are who represent the New York state of mind.
Hmm.
And then you wonder why you have outbreaks of disease you can't control, uncontrolled homeless population living in the subways, filth and rat infestation throughout the city. You have taxes that are out of control while you're running the largest deficits. And then you have mismanagement, misallocation of resources. You have embattled police force that you just basically
Threw under the
castrated.
bus.
You
Yeah. You threw.
castrated the police force. They have zero authority on the streets whatsoever. You allow rioters to loot and destroy
Plunder.
some of the most high end locations where people are paying thousands and millions of dollars for product, for real estate. You devastated your own real estate market in the New
Yep.
York, and you have people with means fleeing from the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is what y'all created. So how do you put the shit back into the horse? I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're gonna work that out. Not you would have to have somebody who's like three times harder, like a Giuliani.
Yeah. You have to have a Giuliani times 10 to fix this crap
You
today.
now you have to swing the pendulum because you allowed it to come so far out of control. You now have to swing the pendulum all the way back just to get to some kind of middle ground where a regular person can walk around feeling safe, and you won't have to worry about getting surrounded by a mob and calling 911 and not having anyone to come protect you. And as a police officer, you have to worry about stopping someone because you may end up in jail.
Hmm.
How ridiculous is that? You can't find crime because you will then become the criminal.
Mm. Mm. I know. I was looking forward to getting me a fur coat this year. They didn't. They don't. They ruined that dream.
I remember walking down. I used to work where they call Trump City, which is like 51st Street and 5th and 6th Avenue.
Uh
And I
huh.
remember walking past the Lamborghini shop is right there, and they have a beautiful cars all the time. They have really beautiful cars. And walking past, they had just built the Cartier store, and I remember seeing like that leopard jaguar, whatever it is, with the green emerald and diamond eyes. And
Hmm.
I always said, I just want a Cartier watch. I used to love looking at that stuff. And then these mofos go and rob the damn store. I was like, really? Really? Like, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought like that police would be New York City police officers would be so tied up with whatever communist bureaucracy they got going on, that they wouldn't even be able to protect the most high-end stores. These are stores that pay millions of dollars because they have the safety of the New York City Police Department. They don't put those stores in the hood. They don't put those stores in low income communities. They put them
Mm-hmm.
where they know the most protection is, and they did nothing. They were just left hanging.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
crazy. It's like,
Wow.
oh, it's acceptable. This is
Some
acceptable behavior.
well,
And it,
I have a friend who owns a couple of businesses down there. One is one of the first stores that are in that district. Also, you think about it, some of those stores aren't coming back. You
hell
know,
no, why would you? I would not put product in any store in any of those locations. And this is coming off of a quarantine where you couldn't even get to your store.
yeah.
You couldn't even get to your store. Maybe it's like lucky for some of them who probably didn't have any new inventory and,
Mm-hmm.
but damn, like the stores are already struggling because the real estate prices are out of control
Yep.
and people don't have jobs now. People can't
Think
even figure out how to get food, let
you
alone buy some stuff.
you have lives that were probably destroyed between the
Right,
coronavirus and the
right.
looting.
Imagine if you had to spend 2 weeks in the hospital trying to breathe and then your store gets destroyed a month later
Yeah,
by riots.
that's a bad year.
Really? Really?
That's a bad year.
How do you recover? Like mentally, physically, like how do you get over this? And then let's talk about the real trauma that's about to happen with all the people who are there, who are seeing the chaos on the street, who are seeing the police being like brutalized through these riots and what they show on TV, who sees all these young people just wilding out. Like, what does that do to you mentally when you're in a space where you feel like you may be prey to
Hmm.
whomever, the you
Hmm.
don't know who, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
anybody could just come around the corner. Did you see the videotape of that guy who walked around the corner and stabbed a cop in the neck with a freaking kitchen knife?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah,
I've
that.
seen videos of two people talking. This kid had a skateboard and pummeled this lady in the head with the skateboard.
I
I
saw that as
I
well.
thought he was gonna I thought he broke her neck. That's how
I,
hard he hit her.
I saw that. We're on the verge of complete and utter chaos and
Oh no.
lawlessness.
What about the gang of kids who thought it was funny to throw a M80 firecracker at a homeless man?
Oh
Set
yeah,
him on fire and exploded.
I saw that one too.
This is like
Yeah,
another world.
yeah.
I mean, we could sit here and look at other places in the world where people act savage and see this is the type of thing we see. This is happening here
Yeah.
in one of the biggest cities with one of the biggest police forces and most trained police forces, and there's nothing that anybody is really doing about it other than complaining.
Hmm.
I couldn't be in charge of the police force. We wouldn't have none of this.
Oh no.
None of
Oh
this.
no. I would
None of
say,
this.
you know what? We got to crack some skulls.
Oh, yeah. Listen, if any of those little twerps from those BLM protests and stuff were in my face the way that these kids are in their faces, and especially the girls annoy the shit out of me. I don't know why, but the girls
Mhm.
especially annoy me. That baton would be in their throat so freaking fast they wouldn't be able to catch a breath, let alone step to me. Like, you know, they're not human anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're behaving like animals. They're like uncontrollable emotions that
Hmm.
are so raw, but rooted in nonsense. They're
Hmm.
not even mad about a thing. Like, they can't even articulate why they're angry or why they're behaving. They're Their position is, you don't know. How could you not know?
As a parent, this kind of
It's sad.
it's concerning for me because I have to prepare my kids to go out into this world and to deal with the unreasonable.
Right.
Um,
Right. Well, I sit with mine, and they're 6 and 9, right? I sit with mine and we watch. I don't let them watch like the crazy, like too graphic stuff, but
yep.
we watch the protests and we watch the fires, and I explain it to them. I'm like, this is what is happening. People are upset about X, Y, Z, and this is how they're behaving, so that they could see like there's a civilized approach and there's an uncivilized approach. And
Yep.
when you wild out and you act crazy, everybody around you knows that you're out of control and unhinged.
Yep.
We recognize it's not a normal behavior. And to some extent, we'll try to talk to you, reason with you, and all that. But to where it is right now, I don't want to be nowhere near you. I don't care what your problem is. I don't care what your feelings are. It doesn't matter to me what happened to you yesterday, the other day, your cousin, somebody, whatever. I don't care. Just stay away from me.
There's
Just
so
stay
so
away from
many
me.
there's so many. It's unfortunate because there's so many other things that can be done.
Hmm.
You have all of these people unemployed. People need to go back to work. The same people that are out there in the streets protesting should be trying to find a damn job, or should be trying to do something that's a little bit more productive. There's plenty of, even though the economy took a little hit during the coronavirus dip, there's still plenty of opportunity out there for you to explore any entrepreneurial exploits or,
But
start.
you're talking with a rational mind, and that's the part I'm trying to tell you doesn't exist with these people. They
Oh,
have
yeah.
a job, and their job is to create havoc and create violence and create distress. Like, how are they not considered terrorists?
Yeah. Yeah.
What they are doing on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah.
going to different monuments, tearing down monuments, like what is that showing the rest of us?
This is
If we
definitely
want to
terrorism.
act right, if we want something, all we need to do is get a group of people to wild out with us, and nobody's going to say boo about it. That's what we're learning right now.
Hmm.
This is how far you can push the envelope. How much farther are things going to go? That's just the reality. So it's like sometimes people will be like not understanding a certain position that we have, but I'm actually tired of explaining myself.
Hmm.
At this point, it's like you've gone so far that I don't care why you feel this way anymore. Maybe
Yeah.
I could have cared before. I don't care why you feel this way anymore. There's
Yeah.
no excuse for being a savage. There's no excuse for terrorizing your neighborhood. There's no excuse for destroying somebody else's property and somebody else's life because you feel some kind of way. The only thing I have to say about that is stay away from me. And that's it. Go destroy that away. They don't seem to have a problem with it, but I do. So, like, not in this direction.
Yeah. To
And I
me,
think a lot of people are that way too.
there is just no excuse, and
Mm-mm.
the fact that the left, they created this crap through the public school systems, through indoctrinating our youth,
Yep.
through always stoking the flames of racism and fear, and they created this crap, and they're gonna have to. I believe that the day is coming that they're going to have to answer for this, or at least pay a penalty for it. But they've
I
created.
don't think that they're gonna pay anything. I think what they're paying is their life moving forward.
Hmm.
So, for example, all the people who, whether they get caught or not caught, all the people who engaged in all this violence and all this destruction, that internally changes who you are. And for you to get out of that mindset, it could take you like a lifetime to do that.
Hmm.
So how good is your life gonna be when you already see how capable of destruction you are. Are you going to be the type of person that goes and builds some shit that makes money, that progresses life for yourself or your kids or your family?
No,
Probably not.
no.
Probably not. You know what I mean? So, like,
It's gonna take them a while to get recentered, if anything.
if they even see a need to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that you don't think about. Like, what about these specific people themselves? We have jails filled with people who, because of whatever acts they've done, don't forgive themselves, see themselves as monsters. A lot of people kill themselves in jail. A lot of people continue to be aggressive and stay in jail for extended life sentences
Yeah.
because this is who they become.
Yeah. That's true.
So if this is who you become and you're only in your 20s or your teens, what's your outlook and prospect for life?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is like lost generations of people right here. I mean, I don't know how you make it to be a 70-year-old anarchist. You know what I'm saying? How do you get to be 70-year-old anarchist? I don't know. Or 80, you know what I mean? Like, there's a level of civility that they all just lost at this stage of the game. Not that people can't be redeemed because it happens, but it takes almost a lifetime to do that.
To fight indoctrination, at least.
Yeah, or your own mind.
Yeah.
You know how many years of therapy it takes just to deal with the shit your parents told you? Now look at
Yeah.
your own behavior. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right.
mentally, these people are all screwed up. And how many of them are like abusive just in general? Because this
Hmm.
doesn't come from nowhere. So you've had this aggression within you. You just found an outlet for it.
Yeah.
So how many of these people abuse drugs? How many of these people abuse their family members? You know?
Physically, mentally,
Exactly.
emotionally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're screwed. They're all screwed. Take us out of the equation. They themselves have just screwed themselves with their own behavior to be mentally and emotionally destroyed for years if they even ever come to the conscious awareness of what's happening in reality outside of their reality, you know?
Hmm.
It's just a sad, crazy situation. I don't see that my kids would ever have interactions like this because, you know, we move so far away from that situation and mindset that there's going to be generations of people who are savage and there's going to be generations of people who are creators and builders.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's going to be like the extreme of the divide. You're not going
Yeah.
to really have center of the, you know, center people. I think you're
Yeah.
going to have extremes.
This is The Cure.